Hey everyone, Jonathan here, founder of JM Growth Co. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the mindset to scale. Now we have a few other videos about mindset itself, and this is a super important thing. When I was trying to scale my first couple of businesses and I failed, I always thought it was a skill set that I was missing. There's something I actually don't know on what to do as a business owner. But I wound up to realize that most of my issues was mindset. After getting educated by Tony Robbins, he said that about 80% of all success has to do with the psychology of the business owner or the leader. So once you fully understand that, it made business so much simpler. Now, at JM Growth Co., we help business owners get through 3 levels of success. Level 1, $1 million in sales. Level 2, $1 million in profit. Level 3, scale and sell. And we give them the exact playbook on exactly what to do in order to get there. But not all of our clients actually get there as smooth as possible, and what's actually holding them back is the mindset. All right, so the 3 things you definitely have to keep in mind when it comes to making sure you have a mindset that's ready to scale is going to be make sure you understand how you manage your goals, how to understand managing employees, and understanding your support system. Now that's high level. Let's go one by one on exactly what this stuff looks like. So when it comes to your goals itself, goals are probably going to be the main thing that's going to keep you motivated to keep things going. As a human being, only 2 things motivate humans, either avoiding pain or gaining pleasure. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you probably started your journey because you wanted to avoid whatever pain that you're in, because maybe you're broke, or maybe you were in a dead-end job, or maybe you had an idea that you wanted to fix that no one else was fixing around it, and that's what made you start. And that's great motivation to get you to a certain level. But to get you to scale, that pain motivation is just a push motivation, and that can wear you out. You need to now find a different motivation, which is going to be that pleasure motivation, that pull motivation itself, because that makes things a lot less hard to kind of push. And that definitely helps you out with the mindset itself. So make sure you have goals is going to be a super important thing in your actual growth journey. Now, when it comes to goals, people have many different ways of thinking about goals. I like to keep it super simple. The first thing you have to understand about goals is you want goals so big that 1, it's going to change your life, 2, it's scary because you don't really know how to do it, and 3, it's going to make the problem small. Because what winds up happening is most people are on level A, right? So this is where you are. You're like, hey, I want to get to the next level. You need to kind of take these incremental steps to get to these next levels, which means I want to go to B, then I want to go to C, then I want to go to D as an example. And maybe D is your $1 million in profit as an example, right? For our level 2 of scalers. But what winds up happening, a lot of people think that goals kind of work that way, but they don't. Most of the time when you're on level A and you want to go to level B itself, this is what the goal process actually looks like. Where all of a sudden you're doing all this work and you're not getting any result. So what does this look like? For me, it looked like the first time I ever implemented a new CRM system. I actually had to do all this extra work on implementing the system, understanding the software, getting my sales team trained on it, and all of a sudden I was taking my eye off the ball of working in the business because I was focusing on another task, and the sales actually started to drop. So now at that point I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm doing all this extra work and now I'm making less money, and that's what's going to happen. And if that does happen for a small goal, because getting to B is not really going to change your life from A, at that point, once you get to this sucky phase, you're just going to quit. You're just going to be like, yo, I'm just going to stay an operator. I'm good. I don't need anything else. But this is how I want you to think. I want you to think about, okay, this is the goal that I want to go to, and right now I'm right over here. Because what winds up happening is that instead of a linear growth where you kind of taking step by step, the growth actually winds up happening exponentially, which looks something like this. So right now we're on A, and your new B is something that's going to be so big that motivates you to keep going. Now, it could be growing your business. It could be an impact goal that you have of helping 1 million people to kind of change their lives. It might be, hey, I want to do this and then I can buy my mom a house, as an example. Whatever your actual motivation is, have that goal be super big. Because what winds up happening is you're still going to go through that sucky phase in the beginning. You're going to be putting in all the effort and you're not going to be getting any result. But if your goal was here before, you're going to quit because this goal is not big enough. At that point, having this goal keeps you motivated, keeps you pulling forward. You're never going to quit if these things get tough, because what winds up happening is now you'll actually push through all the BS stuff, and then you'll start seeing a lot of momentum happening, and that exponential curve actually winds up happening. But if you don't have a clear goal that's big enough, when you're actually going through this scaling game, you're just gonna give up, and that is a no-go. So that's the whole idea with goals. Step number one, make sure you have a big enough goal. Step number two, don't give up until you actually see momentum moving in your direction. Because anytime you try something new, it's not gonna be easy, but it's definitely gonna be worth it if you take the right actions. All right, so that being said, we handled goals. Now let's talk about managing emotions. Your job as a leader in your organization is going to be making sure that you handle your own emotions before you handle anybody else's. Because as you start to scale, one of the things that is definitely gonna happen is you're gonna be bringing on more and more employees, and the more people you bring on, the more personalities you're gonna have to manage itself. That being said, super, super important to understand first how to manage your own emotions. So you wanna make sure that you're taking care of the 24 inches space around you. That means take care of you. If this was an airplane, put the oxygen mask on first before you handle anybody else. Because when shit gets tough, and shit will get tough, your people are gonna come to you all the time. Hey boss, what do I have to do? Hey, I have this problem, what do I have to do? And they are not looking for a leader who's gonna be like, I don't really know, what do you think? They're gonna be looking for a leader that has their chest up and pushes them aside and said, I know exactly what's going on, let's get it going now. So you're gonna be going through shit as your company continues to grow, and they're gonna come up to you with a whole bunch of problems. Joe's gonna come up to you with one problem, Sally's gonna come up to you with another problem, and your response can't be, I don't really know what's going on, I'm stressing myself out, you guys just figure it out. It's gonna be keep your chest high, stay in motivation, make sure you handle your emotions, knowing that you can handle anything that comes your way. You've gotten the business to this far. You say, move aside. I know exactly what's happening, everyone follow me. And that's the exact mindset that you should have as long as you're managing your emotions. Now, to handle managing your emotions, there's two things you really have to worry about. There's gonna be something called the story, and there's something called the event. So you're gonna be listening to stories all the time. So what does that actually mean? That means that, hey boss, I'm late because this happened, and whatever that is. And the event is I got into a car accident, or the event is my tire blew. But you're gonna hear all the different stories around it. Your job as a business owner, as a business leader, is to only focus on the event. Because when you actually focus on the event and not the story, it helps get things a lot more clear on exactly how you should handle any type of situation that comes your way. This is gonna make sure that you actually think, this is gonna help you stay focused on what's actually important instead of handling all the other stuff that happens in your business itself. So, making sure that you're managing your emotions, staying certain with what you are. So making sure you're managing your emotions, stay focused on who you are, where you're trying to go with your goals, and staying focused on the event side, and getting rid of any of the stories that come up that don't give you any information. All right, and that leads us to step number 3, which is add a support system. Now, if you're an entrepreneur like me, you probably don't have a strong support system around you. Maybe you're the crazy one in your family. Maybe your friends are at a different level than you are, and you're looking for somebody else to help you out. Having a peer system is pretty cool, but it's hard to find, especially if you're a busy entrepreneur. So I was trying to do this myself in my first business, which was restaurants. In the restaurant game, I was learning, I was focusing, I was scaling this thing, but I wound up failing almost because I didn't have any of these 3 things. I didn't have my goals right, I didn't know how to manage my emotions, I got super angry super fast, and I had 0 support system with 0 mentors of how to kind of move forward and skip any type of steps so I can actually find success easier. So my next business, a CDL school called Driving Academy, that's been able to scale nationwide simply because I've been able to master these 3 things, which is I have very clear goals. I exactly know how to manage my emotions, which helps me manage my team's emotions, and I have a strong support system. And what did I do for that support system? I started finding mentors of people who already was able to grow a business much faster than I. So when it comes to the support system, I was looking for people who actually can help me get through any type of thing that I would be going through, which means I put myself in rooms of business owners who actually had much bigger businesses than I did when I was first starting off, so I can learn from them and kind of skip steps and not have to learn the hard way like I did at the restaurants. Which means I did things like masterminds, training events, big events, small events, one-on-one coaching, anything you can think of. I spent over $1 million in actual coaching and learning business just so I can fully understand exactly how to scale any business, and that's what we're helping people out with today. So if you're actually interested in learning how to scale your business to the next level, whether it's $1 million in sales, $1 million in profit, or scale and sell, make sure you check out our website, jmgrowthco.com, where we can actually help you, give you that support system that you need, get you aligned on your actual goals itself, and make sure we're helping you manage your emotions to make sure this mindset's staying strong the entire way through so you can scale without any issue itself. Hope this helped out. Make sure you put in the comments below which one of these things do you actually like the most.